Cracking, guys? Today we're reacting to Drill Rapper Dthang facing 15 years after Miami arrest. So
man, what's up,
let's
everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Bronx Drill Rapper Dthang being picked up in Miami for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Now off the streets as investigators tie their ballistics to at least 6 different shootings, calling the gang members, who they say pulled the triggers, ruthless.
These defendants allegedly engaged in gun violence, committing 6 shootings, one of which injured a rival gang member.
Yeah, Muddy, don't do that, Muddy. Don't do that, Muddy. That's the opposition. The voting booth walked in the top of missile. That's the job of mission. New op in the air, that's the job of kicking like
This gang would shoot at their ops in the vicinity of schools, MTA buses, even in close proximity to Times Square.
Yo! He said, yo!
This tan and black gun tracked on social media and YouTube, where investigators say gang members posing as aspiring rappers bragged about violence, targeting their rivals, and animal cruelty.
New York drill is in shambles after Ricos have literally destroyed the genre by locking up the biggest artists. Specifically in the Bronx, the rivalry between Dthang and K-Flock was worth millions, but instead of lavish mansions and expensive cars, both rappers ended up on Rikers Island in neighboring cells. Back in 2022, Dthang was one of 23 gang members from River Park Towers, more commonly known as RPT, to be indicted. Charges range from conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, possession of weapons, multiple shootings, and even killing a pigeon on live.
what did the pigeon do to you, bro?
Dthang would be sentenced to 3 to 5 years in New York State prison and be released in early 2024. Everyone was under the impression that Bronx Drill was back and more powerful as ever after it appeared French Montana signed Dthang, gifting him not only a chain but allegedly $1 million in cash.
what's going on, like, real shit. Stuff is shit.
Hold on, man. Let me get you one.
Welcome to the family, brother.
Hey, boy.
Welcome to the
I know that.
Coke Boys family.
I know that. Look at
My heart. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
But things aren't always as they seem, and Dthang would clarify in an interview with DJ Academics that he isn't signed. It would need $5 million to even consider it.
Wait, are you signed to French?
Nah, bro. Shout out to my son French though. Nah.
What you need right now to sign to like a label, man? What Atlantic need to pay you? Or Capital? You know, Capital been tracking everybody.
Just gonna keep going up. God, buddy. Just gonna keep going up.
Yeah, what you want?
I need like 5 right now. That's how I'm feeling.
5 M's?
5 right now. Say that right now.
Unfortunately, since his release, Dthang's songs have yet to reach the level he was hitting before his incarceration. It's almost as if the rivalry between him and K-Flock is what kept the fans wanting more music, and without that rivalry, many have seemed to lose interest. But now Dthang has found himself back in handcuffs, back in court, and possibly facing even more prison time. June 29th, 2025, 22-year-old Daniel Collins, aka Dthang, was booked into Miami's TGK Correctional Center on one count of being a felon in possession of a firearm. A crime we've seen time and time again committed by rappers, especially those visiting Miami. A YouTube channel by the name of Rocky would upload a video of Dthang's first court appearance, and the judge would grant a $15,000 bond. With only 10% needed for release, Dthang would only have to pay $1,500. So why has he remained in jail the last few days?
Is it Mr. Collins?
Mr. Daniel Collins.
How you doing?
It looks like he was released from prison last year, and that crime also involves a firearm.
But he has probation, is what you're saying?
Right, it says parole. He may be on parole because it says 1826, and then it says parole discharge 1825. So he may have gotten off of parole in January.
The judge would go over if Dthang fully completed his parole from prison, or if the state technically still had custody over him, as parole is nothing more than doing time, just in the free world. Looking at the Miami-Dade jail site, it would appear Dthang has a fugitive warrant from out of state requiring extradition. I'm going to go as far as taking a guess that Dthang was on some form of parole, violated with this new offense, and now New York State is requesting he be extradited back to face punishment. If this is true, this wouldn't even be the worst punishment. Now New York State is requesting he be extradited in form of parole, violated with this new offense, required up to 15 years in state prison, which is true. This wouldn't even be the worst punishment he faces. Being a felon in possession of a firearm in the state of Florida carries up to 15 years in state prison with a 3-year minimum mandatory sentence, meaning you're doing 3 years mandatory on top of whatever the judge adds on. But being a felon in possession is also a 922G, the federal law that prohibits felons from possessing firearms. Pooh Shiesty would be a great example in this case. He was sentenced to over 5 years in federal prison for a gun conspiracy charge in Miami. What this means is, depending on how strong the evidence is against Dthang, he may face a federal indictment and the possibility of up to 10 years in federal prison. If a gun was found on him, he's pretty much done, as there isn't any room for an argument aside from an illegal search. But if a gun was found near him, or even better, near multiple people but nobody claimed it, that would fall under constructive possession, and his defense would stand a much stronger chance. Either way, guns in hip-hop have seemingly either killed rappers or killed their careers, as nobody prospers behind bars. It will always be cheaper to get a gun than hire security, but the risk by far is not worth the reward. Very rarely have we seen rappers defend themselves with a gun, and ironically, that's exactly why Dthang's main enemy, K-Flock, is going to prison. He was approached by a rival who was armed, killed him in self-defense, but still found himself indicted and facing forever. We'll just have to wait and see how this plays out for Dthang. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be blunt. Like I said, bro has some fire music and hands down has the best off the radar freestyle out of any fucking body. I still feel like he holds that title. I haven't seen anything on Off the Radar that compares to when Dthang went up there. You just felt it, you know what I mean? You could feel it. He's talking about getting out of the hood. Like, it's just everything about that freestyle was legendary. The music.
Shit, man. Drop a like, drop a like.
Beef was crazy. But the fact that K-Flock wasn't in the streets and he got out and went back to making music, it just wasn't hitting the same, and the views are evidence of that, you know? I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows at this time, the full details as to what took place with the gun. We don't know if he got caught dead to rights with it. We don't know if it was in the car. We don't know if it was on the ground and there was 10 people and they snatched everybody and Dthang was one of them. We don't know the details. That's gonna be major though. But I'll say this. If he gets federally indicted, he's doing time. And the average time for being a felon in possession of a firearm federally that they get sentenced to is about 4 to 5 years. Career killer. He just wrapped up whatever he did, like 3, you get hit with another 5 on top of that, career's done, the whole music scene done changed, all these new rappers are coming up. It's a career killer, you know? And it's like I said, yeah, it's cheaper to buy a gun, it's cheaper to get a gun from the streets. But the thing is this, right? Investing in security is investing in yourself. Your safety for one, and your security in the fact that you're not gonna get locked the fuck up. I know a lot of people feel better having their own shit because no one's gonna do it for you like you will. But there's a reason Floyd Mayweather isn't walking around carrying guns. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, there are some situations like King Von. King Von is said to have had hired security the night he was killed. That's a terrible situation. But, like I said, Floyd Mayweather doesn't have to carry a gun. He's got a shitload of security. And obviously that costs a bit more. The president doesn't have to carry a gun. He's got the Secret Service.
Facts, man. Facts, bro. So that's insane. They give out that many years for just like a gun, bro. Like, what the hell? Shit's insane, man. But yeah, if anyone's watching and you're new, please subscribe and leave a like, man. Let's get these views up, gang.